again.
Woo woo!
I'm so like it is an honor to be here with you.
Yeah.
I feel like I've known you since even before my treehouse days. Just knowing of your presence in the community.
Thank you.
And being like, oh, that's Karen got the drums. Karen's coming with the drums. I'm like, all right, okay, that's exciting. Because it's very important to, as a young Black artist, note some of the ones who've been doing it for years and doing it well and paving the way for us and holding space.
Yes.
So I think one of my first questions has to be, where did you start in the Philly theater, Philly just art community, period?
You know what? People think only me as a percussionist. Mm-hmm. So the real deal is, if I go back to my days in New York, I really wanted to be a visual artist. I used to love to draw. I was such a shy child. So the arts was an attraction, period. All the types of arts. The performing part, the visual, the musical part, all of it was just something I was just interested in. But drawing really was an outlet. Drawing, I could always I love music, and we heard all kinds of music at home, so I could always tap out whatever I heard on the radio or playing the music. We had 45/vinyl/ stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you could play against the artist or whoever was singing. And that's what I used to do. I used to like to draw, and I used to like to write what I thought was writing, and some drumming. But the drawing was first. Mm-hmm. By the time I got to be 14, ready to go to high school, the school I really wanted to go to was called Erasmus Hall, which is Kappa in Brooklyn. At that time, anyway. I don't know what it is now. And when I went, my grades were good. When I went for the interview for my art, and though they didn't tell me then, but I got the letter saying that I didn't get accepted, I just threw all the art away because I just thought that that's not what I'm going to be. Because look, Erasmus Hall, one of the top schools, said no. And I didn't even go to a secondary school that was better. It was just, all he did was put me in a school that we were in a college-bound programs because of my grades. My grades were really good.
Yeah.
But then the music in middle school and high school really took over, because I was like, well, if I can't do the art in that way, and I had this passion for characters and things like that. I was like, well, I'll act, and I like to play, But my mother shut me down on the playing part because she said that's a boy's instrument.
Oh,
want to play anything,
you're like, wow,
you have to play the piano. I'm like, well, what makes the difference? I didn't understand the difference, but I didn't really learn to play the piano, but I learned music that way, music theory. But I didn't like it, and she eventually gave it up, because once my father died, that was the money had to be really rationed, because as far as lessons, but it didn't matter because I wasn't going. I wasn't taking advantage of it. So anytime I got the chance to sit at the piano and nobody was around, I bang on top, because the drum was calling you. It was a drum, So I would sneak in school because we had a little band area, and I would play in school, things like that, behind the scenes, because she would not let me bring anything that could represent a drum.
Oh my! You were like, Ma,
I know. It was made me even more so, because you tell me I can't do something that I'm really gonna want it.
Is that what you're saying?
I know, right?
You're like, huh?
And my cousin was the professional percussionist, because his mother let him, because he was a boy, he had congas and things like that at home. So I was, go down in the basement and play his stuff all the time. Anytime I went over there, he actually even encouraged me to play, because he saw that there was something there, but I couldn't take it home, So I moved out. I moved out very early. As soon as I got out of high school, and I kind of dropped out of after my first year of college. I said, I'm going to really pursue being an artist, whatever that is.
Ooh, that story of stay on your path. Even though you're like, okay, I'm gonna deal with you for now.
For now, I know.
But even being called to the drums, how many times there's so many youth that are called to something because they're told not to do it, or it's not, aligned. My grandfather was the same way. When I told him I wanted to be an actor, he was like, "Well, what happened to going to law?" And
Yeah, no, it's like, why don't you get a real job?
you're like, what? You're like, do you not hear me? And I don't know if y'all can hear, like, Karen just randomly started drumming on this here desk. And I'm like, we did this whole interview just Karen drumming, for real, y'all. So talk more about like your Philly community, because you have such a beautiful Philly community.
Thank you so much. Philly like welcomed me almost from day one. I moved here in the mid '90s. Mm-hmm. One of my first stops was the Freedom Theater.
Yeah.
And the Painted Bride. I was back and forth between the two of them. No, I had a job per se at the Walnut. I was in their box office. I was assistant in their box office, and I also worked in their telemarketing, because when I came from New York, I was making this, which I'm putting my hands up high. Yeah. And I came here, I was making this, which I put it close to the ground. It was like, what? You know, it was such a difference, but also the rent was cheaper, mm-hmm. you know, because I was really struggling in New York, trying to make it as an artist and also keep some kind of income coming in, you know, in jobs that I didn't really like. But as long as I had the arts behind me somewhere along the line, I didn't care per se. But it was here I kind of got up the nerve at some point, a few times, to say, oh, I don't want to go back and forth with different jobs. I want to do this full time. Yeah. And I tried. I said, it's cheaper here. You know, I'm going to be able to make it. Didn't happen right away. I failed twice, per se, if you want to call it fail. I learned twice that wasn't it. But the last time, fast forward to 2011, 12, somewhere in there, I said, I'm done with, you know, because I even got degrees in other things. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't making me happy. You know, it was like not making me happy.
Talk about it.
It was not. It was like totally opposite. I was like, fine, I'll get a real job and I'll do whatever. What people keep saying, because I am getting older and whatever. And I came here when I was in my 30s. I thought, okay, I'll do that. And then I still wasn't happy. I was like, but you have a so-called secure job, and you know, you have money coming in every 2 weeks. You know, you're able to pay your rent and then some. But I wasn't happy. I was not happy. My depression, which I battled with depression, was getting the best of me because I was not happy. So one more time by 2011, I made this decision. 2012. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to step out on faith. Do not run back. Keep going. Just keep going no matter what. Use all the things that you've learned over the years and make it work. You know, but do not go back to a 9-to-5 and delay the process. Trust the process.
Not dropping mics. Listen,
trust the process.
Karen here dropping beats and microphones to be like, listen.
It was so scary, but I was like, I'm going to do it, because the first year was like, I have no money. I went through whatever little savings I had so fast, because nothing was turning around just like that because I made a decision. Now I'm like, I'm getting ready to lose my apartment. I lost my car. I'm getting ready to lose my mind. I'm like, it's not feeling good right now. I'm not going to make it to 2014. I underline 2014 because in 2013 I was like felt like I was going down, down, down spiritually in every possible way. Mm-hmm. And I had a plan by 2013 in December. If it's not working, I don't want to see 2014. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm done. And it was, who's a friend of mine now, Clarence Hayes, Reverend Clarence Hayes. I played for Black Pride, one of my early Black Pride Kwanzas. Yeah. And I had an attitude then, because I just lost my car and I have no money in my pocket, you know, and they only paying me this much, and it's just not working. And I don't even remember what he said, but it was his turn to talk, and it was directed to me. Whatever he said that day made all those negative thoughts go away. It just like changed it. It lifted me up. Not that I had any money in my pocket, not that I was not getting ready to get evicted, et cetera, but whatever he needed to say, wherever it came from, you know, and that drum being there, I had to believe I'm still in the right direction. I just have to change some things. I can't live independently. I got to live with other people until the shift happens. That's almost like what he was saying, but he wasn't saying that. but that was the feeling, you know. So I could see 2014, and now I can see 2024. 10 years from that time, you know, that darkness went away. I haven't had that darkness since more than 10 years ago. That darkness where you can't see the next day, you can't see the next moment, you know. Nothing is allowing it. You know, that's a real wrap. So I welcomed 2024 when it came in because I was like, wow, 10 years and no depression in that way, you know. And I made it. And by 2016, when I really decided I'm going to live with other people until I get rid of debt that was just hanging over. I had a lot of debt hanging over. And I did it for 4+ years, you know, still wanting to make this happen. I said, I got to get rid of debt. And I got to live, I called it my couch sitting.
You already know.
My couch squatting days, you know, and I live with different friends, different artists, whatever. You know, I sold most of my things except for drums and clothes. And I lived with other people for like almost 5 years, almost. And in that time, things were changing already. That community was coming in, the doors were opening. And in that time, Sonia Sanchez said to me one time, when I was really frustrated, I called her, and she said, oh, you know, she said, visibility, then revenue. I'm like, what is she talking about? She's old. She doesn't know what she's talking about anymore. She don't remember. You know, she's losing it. I am visible. I told her, I'm out here. I'm doing X, Y, Z. What are you talking about? She said, visibility. She said, my sister, visibility. That's what she
exactly how she felt like.
Visibility and then revenue. That's what it is. I'm like, okay. And so, and she was, to this day, every time I talk to her, I tell her, you're so right. But trust the process, because it doesn't look like that. It doesn't, because you got this kind of vision, and it's really doing all this, it's all this. You got to still ride that wave, because the wave is never going to stop. But you just got to figure it out. And not go back, because after every storm, there's a rainbow. Ooh, every storm, not one, not every other storm, every storm. So I still hear her say, visibility then revenue, because since 2016, and I recognize it by 2018, I haven't had to look for anything. Everything started, you know, coming towards me. To this day, knock on wood, I have not had to look for a gig. You know, I do partnerships with different things too, collaborations, but I have not looked for a gig like I did in that 2013. I remember that year was just like, you know, trying to make money come in. I was like on the street. We were performing on the street. I was like, got some musicians together, and they didn't need the money, but I did, because that's how I was going to, you know, live. You know, it was soup kitchens and share programs and whatnot that helped me survive, you know, to keep food coming in, but it was tough, you know. And I did get my car taken, and I did, you know, get ready to lose my apartment. They were getting ready to take my apartment from me. So that's why I said, I got to stop this, because it's the same cycle that happened in New York, and I didn't want that anymore. It's got to stop. How do I stop it? Not just pause it, but how do I stop it? And that's what I did. I had to tone it down, live with people, and, you know, get rid of that debt, because I live a cash flow lifestyle. If I don't have the money, and that doesn't matter what it is, including travel, I don't do it.
I can't.
I don't do it. I can't do it. It's like, I don't want to have that interest on the card, et cetera, and these cards out of control, all these different credit cards, and, you know, they're all maxed out and then some. But I'm going here and there and wearing this and that. I'm like, nope, change it, you know, change it. I love thrift stores. I love, you know, black vendors and things like that, you know. So I really cut all that out, you know.
Oh, Karen, what I hear is this talk of this journey from scarcity mindset to abundance, to the circulation of money. And I relate to that. And also, like, when I graduated college, I was like, I don't know what the heck is happening. And I said to somebody, I said, if you had told me that I would be where I am today, I'd been like, you have lost your mind, because there's nothing out there. If you had told me I'd been in a treehouse as long as I was like, that wasn't going to happen. This is a short-term gig. But that notion of how a lot of young artists get into that haze, that kind of like fuzziness, they can't see past what's in front of them. And the trust of like, I'm not going back.
Definitely not going back.
You talked about how that's scary.
That was scary. I mean, literally, it was scary. But I kept saying, I'm not going back. I can't. I said, there's nothing to go back to. I'm like, I'm going to be miserable, but I'm going to have a paycheck. I can't do that anymore. I don't want it. I'd rather my life be over right now because I don't want that anymore. I want this. This is what I want. But I can't get it just by playing drums. I got to do other things with it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get it by just writing plays. I got to do other things with it. I got to combine all the things that I do and curate and partner, you know, and listen.
Community.
When you're in the room, listen, you know, network, etc., you know. But she said you got to be visible, and then the revenue.
You got to put yourself out there. You
got to constantly, you got to show up. Come on. And trust the process at the same time, because possible is possible.
Come on, possible. Yeah. Talking about possible. 10 years later, in 2014, you are a Pew Grant recipient.
How about that?
Come on.
Can I get the Pew? Yes! Some pour the Pew. That's right. Hashtag.
You pulled the Pew. Do you know?
I know.
Let me tell you something.
I was shocked by that myself.
Listen,
when the email came, I was like, what?
That's what it does. When you get those grants, you be like, huh?
I'm telling you, it's like you've been nominated for a Pew. I'm like, who, me? You know, how? How did I been nominated for Pew? I didn't apply. You know, somebody nominates you. You don't have any idea to this day who it is. And so, would you like to apply? I'm like, yeah. You know, of course, yeah. So they set up a meeting, you know, by Zoom. And then after the meeting, they send you the link to fill out that application that's longer than this table. plus samples. Because you're really telling a story of your life. You know, kind of like a transformation. You're really telling the story of your life and proving it, you know, you're showing aspect of your life. And that's what it was, you know, and it was in February of last year, around this time, I got that email, and it was by the end of March that it had to be in. And I talked to people. I said, wow, I need some help, you know, because I really would like to get this. I said, but I don't know if I'm going to get it, but it's a big deal. But just to be nominated, you know, somebody out there seeing, you know, whoever's being my guardian angel, whoever to this day, whoever it is, thank you.
Shout out
to whoever you are or organization. I don't know how it works, but, you know, and then I let it go. In fact, I let it go 2 days before because I kept going back and forth. I'm like, I need to put this in. I need to take this out. I kept going like that, you know, after I had help. With my 3 wise men, as I call them. And I was like, no, I was overthinking it. Afterwards, felt like it was done. And then I'm saying the 2 days before, I was like, it's done, Karen. You know how it's done because you're going to send it off and you're not going to look back. You're going to keep moving forward and fill out some other stuff and live your life. And that's what I did. I let it go. It was due on 29th. I let it go on 27th. You know, I said, no more looking, no more doubting. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if it has even grammatical errors anymore, because you can't keep fixing. You can't keep fixing, and let it go. And I did. And the first month, I was kind of like, oh, I wonder if I got it. And then after that, I just let it go. The first month, I was kind of thinking about it because it took 4 months before they contact you.
Oh, yeah, and that waiting process.
You got
to let it go. Because
you have to let go. You know, it's like life has to go on. You know, I didn't know if I was going to get it or not, but I would like to say, well, it was an honor to be nominated, you know. And I just filled out other grants and you know, or whatever I was doing and getting other opportunities, kept moving forward. But one thing you could not say, even if you were nominated, you couldn't say anything until everything was. Come on. You couldn't even tell you know, I've been nominated. Nope, you can't say anything. It has to be anonymous, it's discreet, you know, this whole silent period until they make their decision. And on August 1st, this email came and I didn't want to look at it. I'm like, oh no, because they told us September they would let us know. And I'm like, they're gonna already weed me out because it's 30 applicants. Like, you know, you didn't want to be one of the 12, you know. And I'm like, oh, I didn't want to open it. And I said, Karen, you got to open it. Open it. Just get over it. I'm like, okay, I didn't get it. But, and I pushed and said, congratulations. And all I remember that. It's like, I just started screaming. My cat was like, what is going on here? I'm just screaming. I'm screaming. I'm banging on every drum that I have. Yeah. I'm like, whoa. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Give it thanks thanks to the drums.
I'm telling you, I was like, wow. Because that's the category that whoever nominated me was a musician. So, but I was like, what? But you could not tell anybody.
They said,
that's what we sent that email. It's like, until we make a public announcement, you cannot. I'm like, well, I was like, I gotta hold on to
hold my testimony
on my joy. As visible I am on social media, I couldn't say one thing, like nothing.
So listen,
it was nothing. I couldn't say anything for 7 weeks, because it was mid-September by the time they made it public. I was like, that's not fair.
I want to say it now.
I know, I want to say something. But as soon as they pushed the button and said it was public, then I was like, yes. So
that praise him. Like
I
can do it. I can do it.
Oh, it was crazy. That was a crazy time because I'm not good at holding things in anymore. So my stomach was always bothering me. I was having all kinds of
around people. You'd be like,
mental problems here. I was like, what is wrong with me? Because I'm holding all this joy. There's like something big just happened,
Something big that happened.
It really something big, and this was big. This is big. It has did another level to my life. So.
And then to hear that and hear that testimony, I'm just utterly thankful that you just made that decision in the turn of 2014 to not look back. Because I don't know where I would be, where other artists in this industry would be, without having your support, but also seeing your passion, how you show up in community, right? I'd be like, Karen be out here, right? Safely out here too, y'all. Like, Karen, make sure the COVID test is taken.
You gotta do that.
But it's definitely showing up. If you say, hey, Karen, can you come do this? I remember emailing Karen, like, I want to do a little thing party for the kids at the end of the year. You want to come play drums? Karen was like,
kids,
yeah.
Kids and seniors, mine's is off the spot.
Yeah, like, I'll come out. What you mean? I'll be there. And I thank you not only for coming and sharing your story, but for the continued legacy, because we call it living legends. Because I'm like, everyone that I'm interviewing is still out here.
Yeah, still doing.
Like, I got some. Kamika's I got like 30 more years. Stop playing with me. And I said, all right, cool.
Oh, Kamika, that's right. That's right.
I'm like, so it's very beautiful to have this experience with you and with all of you to have this documented.
Yeah, it's important to document, that's for sure.
Because I say this all the time, like wanting to make sure that we are giving honor to those who came before us and are still with us and are working hard to make sure that we're pushing. We're pushing to move forward.
Yeah.
And that's not easy.
It's not. You got that right. It's not easy. And it's still not easy, but it's better.
Yeah.
Because I know what I want to do and want to continue to do, and I'm allowing myself to evolve in it too, because where I thought I wanted to be with my art is nowhere near to what I'm doing now. It's like you have this one dimension. It's like, no, you can explore all kinds of things. Because I've done stuff that, I would never thought that I would be doing. I worked in people in hospice care with my sounds, going through transition, getting ready to leave here. I've been asked to do that. And I give that away because I feel like I don't have a right to charge somebody for something like that. That is something very honorable that somebody wants that last part of their life be connected to some kind of rhythms, sounds, stillness, calming. And that's what I've done because I did it for my sister. That's how I even knew that I could do something like that. I brought my drum to the hospital. It was my last visit with her, in fact. When I'm thinking that she's going to get better, she wasn't. She was just like, it's time to go. But in the meantime, that drum made her so calm, extra calm, I should say, But I knew that it could do something, that these rhythms could do something else. I played for Rites of Passage. I've done,
Mhm.
you know, all kinds of things that I've never thought that I would be doing. Blessings of the Waters.
Ah,
You
yes.
know, I did that. It's just amazing that rhythm, those drums, what they do and can do. It's like an element. It's like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then drum. It's like that fourth element, almost like that third eye. It's that fourth element. It's that drum. It's that sound. So.
Well, Karen, thank you.
No, thank you for all you do, really. I should switch this around and start interviewing you.
Oh, I got some time on me. I don't know. But I'm just thankful for this episode. Y'all, please continue to tune in to Living Legends because it truly is a blessing to all of us to be able to hear our people talking and what they've done in community. All right, we out.
All right.